Bob Geldof travelled to Ethiopia to visit the camps where the aid was being delivered. But he began to realise that something very strange was happening. The Ethiopian regime was rounding up thousands of the starving people who had come to the camps. They were being taken to airstrips, where they were loaded at gunpoint onto giant transport planes. They were then flown to what were called resettlement camps. Geldof was shocked by what he was seeing. To him, it seemed to evoke an evil ghost from Europe's past.
The first pictures we saw of resettlement were these ancient and beautiful people starving and in rags, under armed guard, going into these vast Russian plains. They probably have never seen a plane. They have nothing left, only their dignity. And to the west, the immediate psychological reaction is Jews being led at gunpoint into cattle trucks by the Nazis.
What Geldof had stumbled upon was something that those who ran Ethiopia had been trying to hide. That the food brought in by Live Aid was being used as a weapon in a civil war. Ethiopia's ruler was a brutal tyrant called Colonel Mengistu. Mengistu had decided that the only way to win the war was through a massive piece of social engineering. He was going to literally move millions of people out of the rebel areas in the north and relocate them in the empty south, where they could no longer fight. And the food aid was being used as bait to lure hundreds of thousands of people into the refugee camps, where his troops then swooped in and rounded them up. Live Aid was an extraordinary achievement. It is estimated that it may have cut the death toll in the famine by a half. But the group, Médecins Sans Frontières, made the dramatic claim that the aid might have also led to the same amount of deaths as it had saved. The mass relocations were so brutal, they said, that over 100,000 people had died. It showed the weakness at the heart of the growing humanitarian movement. That when they came face to face with a brutal ruler like Colonel Mengistu, who was using their aid not to save people, but to save himself, and kill thousands more in the process, they had no way of stopping him. They couldn't challenge power.